Hello everyone and welcome to African Tech Gurus. This is your number one channel where learning is by doing and we do that together. If you are new to this channel, please do us a big favor by subscribing to our channel and you are very welcome. We appreciate visitors. Please also don't forget to click on the notification button as well so that you get notified every time we post a new video. We will be posting videos on a regular basis covering the different topics as we help each other grow and learn. So today is the 13th of February and we will be covering the shell input and output redirection topic. And this is it. We will cover this and we can quickly move into it and see what is there. And we mainly have two resources that we need to watch or read. The first one is this link over here, share IO redirection and special characters, and that is what we will be covering today. Some of the key concepts that we need to understand today is these ones that they have highlighted here. So make sure you understand this by the end of the day. And you should be able to explain this to anyone without the help of Google or without the help of external resources. So we can quickly move into shell IO redirection. So this is the script that they have for us today. And please make sure you read this word by word and you're able to understand this. This is a general overview of what we have covered today before we move into the quiz. In this lesson, they have been able to provide powerful features that we can use in the command line for either input or output redirection. And the first thing that I want us to cover is output, standard output. Sorry, so what this means is it is able to facilitate directing whatever results that we have and send it to an output. So by default, the standard output redirects its content to the display. So what that means is once the program or the command line has finished doing what it does, by default, it sends it to us to see, us the users. But we are able now to redirect that output into a file. And how we do that is we use the greater than sign. And it is used like this. So if you're able to list all the documents that are in your current working directory, we use ls and it will give us a list of that. But if we want to have that list in a file, we redirect it using one greater than sign. I hope you get it. One greater than sign. So what this will do is it will list all the files and everything in our current working directory, but it will as well create a document called file underscore list.tx and inside it have that entire list. I hope you get it. The other concept that we need to understand is when we use two greater than signs as we have done here. So in this first one, we have said it will create this new document and direct that output into the document. Let's say we added other documents into our current working directory or deleted some. But at the end of the day, we want to know all the files that existed within that working directory. What we can do is we can use two greater than signs. So please pay attention. What will happen here is it will add to whatever was there before. It will not overwrite. So if we had other content here and we use one, it will overwrite. I hope you get that. It will overwrite. The other thing that we can do is get standard input. So here we are saying that many commands can accept input from a facility called standard input. And by default, it gets this input from the keyboard and we the users are the ones who use the keyboard. So we get input from the keyboard and feed it into the machine, into our laptops, into our PCs. And what we're saying here is whatever we have input, it can be redirected into a file. So it is the exact opposite of what we have done above. I hope you get it. So here it will sort all the files. We want to sort all the files that are there and then redirect that input into a document called file underscore list.tx. I hope you get it. I hope you get it. So the other thing that you can do is you can use both of them at the same time. At the same time. So here what we are doing is we both have input and output being redirected. And please be aware that the order of redirection doesn't matter. It only requires that the redirection operators, which are the lesser than and the greater than, must appear after the other options and arguments in the command. The other thing that I want us to cover is pipelines. Pipelines are very powerful and they are the most useful and powerful thing that you can have when it comes to input and output redirection, because here we're able to connect multiple commands together and form what is called a pipeline. So it will be one command that gives us an output, and that output becomes the input of another. So we'll be able to layer different instructions and have them kind of be concatenated in one. I hope you have understood that. So the very first one that they have shown us here is this one, which is an example, ls-lt, and then the pipe. This is the pipe. This is the pipe, the one I have highlighted, and head. So here what they're saying is it will display the 10 newest files in the current directory. I hope you get what that does. It will display the first 10 newest files in the current directory. So now that we have looked at ls-lt pipe head that displays the 10 newest files in the current directory, the other thing that they're mentioning here is du pipe sort space dash nr. So here it displays the list of directories and how much space they consume, and then they sort it from the smallest to the largest. So that is the other command that they're showing us how to use the pipe. The pipe is a straight line that is vertical. That is a pipe. So it helps you move from one command to the other one in a very easy manner. The other one is find dot space dash type f dash print pipe wcl find. So what happens here is it displays the total number of files in the current working directory. And how we get to know this is find dot this. It is what will display the total number of files, and the dot means the current working directory and all its subdirectories. So this does that. So this is an example of what happened. So I want us to look at the main ones which I had mentioned, and here they're starting with sort, which was among some of the ones we had looked earlier. So sort, it's what it does is it sorts whatever input has been provided, then it outputs it in a sorted manner. So whatever the user has given, it sorts it and then it gives it to us. The next one is unique. Unique, it's saying, given a sorted stream of data from standard input, it removes all the duplicates. So what happens here, if someone had written A and B, C, D, D, it will remove one of the A's and leave one, and one of the D's and leave one. So it will remove the duplicate items. The other one is grep, which examines each line of data it receives from the standard input, which is the user, and outputs. So after it has received it, it will give us the results of every line that contains a specified pattern of characters. I hope you're together. The next one is FMT, which reads text from standard inputs and outputs the formatted text to the standard output. So here it will format whatever the user has given us, format it, and then display it. PR, it takes text input and splits the data into pages with page breaks, headers, and footers in preparation for printing. So whatever input the user has given, PR, when we use it, it will split the text into a manner that it's readable and it is easy to print. So it will break it into different pages with a header and a footer. The other one, the two most important ones, are head and tail. Head, we will use it a lot, and tail, we will use it a lot. And also, please make sure you also are able to identify these ones even in the future. what head does, it will give you the first 10 lines that are in the input the user has given. So instead of reading through the entire document, it will give you a glimpse of the first 10. And tail does the exact opposite. It gives you the last lines, the last few lines. So head gives us the first ones, tail gives us the last ones. The other one is TR, and it translates characters, and it can be used to perform tasks such as moving from upper to lowercase conversion or changing the line termination of characters. So TR, it is to translate characters that have been provided. SED, which stands for Stream Editor, it can be used to perform more complex and sophisticated text translations compared to TR. So it is able to handle very complex translations of characters. AWK, an entire programming language that is designed for constructing files. And this is extremely powerful. And if you want to read more on this, you can do this in the future. So here they're telling us that performing tasks with pipeline, and remember they had mentioned it is very powerful. So here they're just giving us a few examples of how we can do that from the command line. So here this is a Linux program that they have provided, and it accepts standard input and sends it to the printer. So here they are giving us a few examples, and if you're able to understand what this is doing, kindly put it in the description box below, in the comment description box below, for the sake of time. Another one that we're also doing here is how to view contents of tar files. So often we will see software being distributed in terms of zipped folders, and here they're specifically talking about gzipped tar files. And this is traditionally a Unix style for archived files, and it can be compressed using the gzip. This is the gzip, and if you want to read more, just click on it and you can click and you can read more. So this is an example of that, and if you're also able to understand what this is happening, for the sake of time, as I have mentioned, we will continue and we will move on. If you have any questions as well, just put it in the description and we will handle them. The other thing that they had mentioned that we should do is special characters, which is very, very important. And that is what I want us to do next. So here we have some of the special characters, and they can be evaluated by bash to have non-literal meaning, and there are those that can have alternate meaning. So please make sure you understand that. I can read it out again. Some characters are evaluated by bash to have non-literal meaning. Instead, these characters carry out a special instruction or have an alternate meaning, and they are therefore called special characters or meta characters. So hope you get that. Special characters or meta characters. And some of the common ones that we will be using, and I want us to quickly highlight over them. One of them is escape. Escape is given with a backslash. This is escape, and it's given with a backslash. So what this does is it will block and prevent the next character that comes after it from being interpreted as a special character. So this one we will actually look at it in one of the quiz examples that they have given, but please make sure you don't forget backslash. And some of the characters that you can use is that it works outside of quoting, inside double quotes, and generally ignored in single quotes. So this is a special environment where it won't work, or it will work. So please make sure you understand this. If you want more explanation of this, please let us know. The other one is comment. So comment are used with a hash character, and it begins at the very beginning of a line. So it begins at the very beginning of a line, and everything that comes after that in that line, every single character that comes after the hash will be considered a comment. So if it moves to the next line, please use another comment, another hash to represent a comment. And another important one that we will learn here for this one and even for future is assignment. So in this case, equals to, just one equals to, will mean that we are assigning a value, which is most of the time to the right, to a variable which is on the left. Yes, on the left. Please remember, we always assign from right to left. Yes. And something that I would want to clarify now is when you see two double quotes, that means it is equal to. So please make sure you understand those two, but we will cover that in the future. Another one that is very important is this one, negate, exclamation mark. So what that means is it is used to negate whatever statement has been provided or reverse a test or be an exit status. So those are the three examples, and a very good example is this one. And if you also know what this means, for the sake of time, please let us know. Another very important one that I need us to remember is redirection. So here we usually have different ways we can redirect a command output or input into a file. Although this will be, we have covered it previously, but I want us to understand what it does. Here we have single greater than sign. If we see single, know that it will overwrite. So a single greater than sign or a single less than sign will overwrite. And if we have two, it will append. And as we have mentioned, overwriting means it will remove what is there and add this one. So whatever was there before will disappear and it will just have whatever you are now either inputting into a file or outputting. But if we have two greater than signs, whatever was there will remain, it will just add more on top of it. The other one that is important is pipe, which is a straight vertical line, and it sends output from one command to be the input of another. So it is like chaining up different commands. So if you have um, a list of commands and you don't want to write each and every one of them, if you use the pipe, you will easily write different commands. But please make sure you use it if you know what you're doing to avoid unintended errors and unintended input and output. And one final one that I would maybe want us to look at would be this, the semicolon. It is a command separator. So it is used to separate multiple commands that are on the same line. Yes. It will separate multiple commands that are on the same line. Any other one that I would like us to use and remember is this and sign, or called ampersand sign. And when we use it at the end of a command, run the command in the background. So you do not wait for it to complete. What it does is it will run in the background. Yes, it will run in the background. Another important one that I would want us to look at is the asterisk sign and the question mark sign. So these are what are called wildcard characters, and there are many of them, but these are the two common ones. If we see a place we have used this asterisk, it means everything, and that is one of the main ones that we use. And if you want to see more of this, you can definitely click on this link and view more on it. So those are the few examples that I wanted us to look at. Please do read more on this. I cannot be able to take us through everything, so please make sure you read. I hope this has been helpful for you, and for now we will stop there and we will meet in the next video where we will do the quiz and the questions. Until next time, bye.